What's growing? Andrew, Fairweather Farmer. Today we're talking about growing your own celery. And so, celery as well as celeriac are a little bit tricky. And the reason I had that extra 72 flat was to just press down lightly the surface of the soil because celery and celeriac actually requires light for the seed to germinate. So what I do is I lightly seed the surface of the soil and I'll press it down so it doesn't move when in water, but I don't bury the seed. And I've seen other farms they use glass. We don't do that. It's an option. And when I water the celery and celeriac, I have to change the setting on the hose to mist instead of flat because a flat would be too aggressive and it would move the seed off of the flat. Whereas when I use the setting on the hose that's the misting setting, it creates a finer water that keeps the celery seed moist because it actually takes quite a long time to germinate. I believe it's actually 21 days if I'm not mistaken. Can't find it on the seed pack right now, but about at least a week or two, but I would say 2-3 weeks for celery germination from memory. And so the other important thing about your celery growing is that you don't want the crop to be exposed to temperatures below 10 degrees for more than 10 days in a row. And this applies to celeriac as well, because then it'll bolt and it'll go to flower. So it's sensitive to the cold, which is why it's good to be grown in the greenhouse. What we do to get around that, since we grow it in the field, is we keep it in the greenhouse until it's warm enough outside that with the extra temp overnight of 4 to 7 degrees from the caterpillar tunnel that we use as a hardening off tunnel outside the greenhouse. So I just check the overnight temperatures for the next week and I make sure that, for instance, they don't fall below 7 degrees ever. And if I've got that clearing, then I can move the celery from the greenhouse to the hardening off tunnel and eventually from the hardening off tunnel to the field. But in the field, I'd want to make sure that the temp never really drops below, like, let's say 14 ideally, except for at the end of the season. And that's when you want to harvest everything that you've got left. But you will definitely get better yield on your celery if you have the heat and temperature control of the greenhouse, if that's an option for you. Next best option is to grow it in a low tunnel, in a capital tunnel. We grow it in the field and it works. We take 1 or 2, maybe 3 branches of celery at a time. We make bunches on the row. And at the end of the season, we take everything when it gets cold. And yeah, go ahead and get yourself growing some celery.